What's up, guys? I want to do a video on the programming of this lightsaber, but first I want to acknowledge and thank Nick at Starfall Sabers. He was the one who made the hilt, as well as Chris Skinner, who did all the internals, all the electronics, all the soldering, both guys doing all the things that I cannot do. I actually got into lightsabers back in September, and I met a gentleman named Gerald, and he was fantastic, very accommodating. The whole community is very, very nice, and he explained to me that there's people who make custom lightsabers. Now, I basically have collected custom knives, custom flashlights. I see a lot of value in kind of, meeting the maker, made in the USA, handmade stuff, because I keep my stuff for a long period of time, and I would love to have something that I had a little bit of influence into, influencing the design and the creation of. And it's one of those things that I didn't realize there was people in the lightsaber community who, quite frankly, just did this because of their passion for Star Wars. Now, I like Star Wars, but I'm not nearly as knowledgeable as some of the people out there. So when I talked to Nick about the creation of the saber, I don't know the characters as well as some people. And I just said, what I'm looking for is something that I can use, I could play with, things that I can put my hands on, take apart, things like that. And he really knocked it out of the park. At that time, I had already seen some Grandmaster chassis, some really, really neat, intricate stuff that people were doing as passion projects. I don't have the skill to do it myself, and I talked to him about that, and this is kind of what we had come up with. And he really did a great job, and I'll show you the saber. So the first thing you have to do is unlock the core. Actually, the first thing you have to do is take off this plate. That's a little bonus there. So I told him that I wanted some, I really enjoy the lights, and I enjoy seeing the lights. So you can pull this plate off and see all the lights. So you could use the saber with the plate or without the plate. And if you guys want to see more of the saber, the installer, Chris Skinner, has a YouTube channel, CAS Designs, and he did a great video, much better than mine. He's got better lighting and things like that. So you can head over to his YouTube channel, and before he sent me the saber, he did like a demo tutorial on it. So if you really want to check out the details of the saber, go over there. So you can take this battery pack out. All you have to do is unscrew this, pull this out, the battery will come out. And that's something that Nick had suggested that he didn't see in a lot of metal chassis core sabers. So one of the things I told him is, hey, look, I'm new to it. I don't really know a lot. So any new ideas that people are looking to do, they might not fit in with what currently people are doing. I am very interested in that. And that's something that he had come up with. And I enjoy that because I like being able to swap the batteries. Several repairs needed in core. So the way Chris had done the original programming is he had set it up to have two states, blade out, which is core out, I should say, and core in. And when I got this, it had one font for calibration, core out calibration, and I've added two fonts to it.
Primary crystal missing.
And so you can see the lights will change based off of different fonts.
Primary crystal missing.
And when you put the core into the saber, I'll show you the inside real quick here. It has a bunch of connectors. I'm sure if you're familiar with sabers, you know all this already. Oh, let me take this out to get the blade plug. And what he did was he wired a resistor inside the saber, so it detects it and it'll know to go to another state. Starfall. And he had put the Starfall fonts, which I will roll through now, that I think are unique to Nick and his sabers on here. And I forgot how many there are, but...
Heroes reconcile.
Starfall. Celestial. Infinium.
Hero's journey.
So those are the original fonts that the saber came with which I think is fitting because this is a Starfall lightsaber. But I wanted to add my own fonts to it. So I had been adding fonts to my other sabers for some time. I was pretty familiar with that. I really like the lighting. I really like playing with the way the saber works with different lights and the colors and things like that. But I wanted to be able to switch the fonts without, you know, messing. I bought a saber, had like 40 fonts on it. I didn't particularly like it. So I was thinking of an idea where I can kind of subfolder the fonts. And I went on this website called The Crucible. Now, it took a little bit of extra programming. There's a gentleman over there named Brian Connor. I want to shout out to him. He was very patient with me as well with my ideas. I gave it my best attempt at coding. I did not get anything right, but he suggested some fixes, and we got it to work. So you see there, I created a button, and it was also important for me. I've used different button sets. I used the FET button set. Again, this is, he makes it available. I can't believe how much work goes into this stuff, and just to make it available for everyone, it's amazing. I really like edit mode. I really like all of how his buttons are set up and all the features. So I wanted to do it within his button setup that he had already done. So we switched over the array. So these are my fonts now.
Master Sol. Chimere. Master Skywalker. What is it?
And I bought these fonts, many of them from Wan Sith. Kyberphonic I've bought from actually just about all the font makers. But I'm going to go back to the starting font, and I'll show you.
Select preset. Party Saber.
And this is one of my favorite fonts. I think this is a Kyberphonic font because if you go on FET's website, you could download a lot of the blade colors, so you're not creating the code from scratch. There's already a foundation and a basis to work off of, and you can really change the look of the saber here. So what I've done is I've activated party mode. Let me get a blade so you can see what's going on here. So this is blue, but if you swing the saber, there we go. So if you swing the saber, it'll change colors. And what I've done is I've matched the colors to the chassis here. It's hard to do this on camera, but there we go. That's yellow, so that should be yellow. Some red. And I thought that was really neat, that you can kind of change the lighting within the font. Here, I'll leave that in. We'll go to the next font. And I really like this font too. I think Kyberphonics has one, but this one was from Wan Sith. And I'll show you what this one does, but it's blue. One of the things I really like about the saber is that you can kind of peek the crystal. Obviously, with the core out, you can see it, but when the plate is off, you can kind of see it in there. So it's blue right now, and I did set up a little bit of red because of the font. And if you look in there, the lights will change all to red, so I thought that was a pretty fun font as well.
Master Sol.
And one of the things that I discovered, Gerald introduced me to it, was the emitter programming. And I'd gone back and I had programmed one of my sabers, the emitters, but it shone out the blade when the blade was off. So I couldn't do it. I talked to Chris. He explained it to me that when you install it, you kind of have to ask for this feature. Most sabers will come with the lighting in there. Some don't, but most of them will come with the lighting in there. And if you want to be able to program it, which is a decent amount of work, but if you want to be able to do that, I guess when they install it, they have to keep that in mind. So he installed this saber, which was actually pretty difficult because of all the connectors and things like that, so I can program the colors of the emitter.
Master Skywalker.
What is it? Father's lightsaber. This is the weapon of a Jedi Knight.
Anyways, when the chassis is in, I've set up a button here that I can switch the array.
Starfall.
And it goes back to the Starfall fonts. I can go back.
Saber on.
And the way I have it set up is it doesn't go to the calibrate until you pull the chassis out, which I'll do that now again.
Chassis disengaged.
And then it automatically goes to my chassis array, which are the calibrate arrays. But if I really wanted to, I can go here, because there's buttons on here, and I can activate it.
Starfall. Saber on.
And I could play with the fonts with just the chassis if I wanted to do that.
Starfall.
Yeah, anyways, again, I just wanted to thank Nick and Chris for their hard work, and Gerald and Brian, who kind of showed me a little bit of programming, and it's been a lot of fun, and I really love to see your guys' ideas and what you guys come up with, because you know, with the open source Profi, it's just, if you can think of it, it can be done. So just wanted to give you a quick demo of what I was able to do with the Saber, and thanks for watching.